Hey guys, welcome back to Explainer X today. I am going to recap a 2007 romance comedy movie, named Good Luck Chuck. So, let's begin. The movie starts with showing some school friends, and those people were playing a game. The rules of the game were like this. Whichever side of the bottle will stop, he will be locked in the room for 7 minutes along with the person opposite him, and can do anything there. Out of these we see Charlie and Stuart. Stuart was telling Charlie what he can do by going inside because Charlie was very innocent. After a while Stuart goes inside with a girl named Jennifer, but Jennifer doesn't allow her to touch herself. After turning the bottle points towards Anisha. Then Anisha takes Charlie with her to the cabin. Inside, Charlie finds out that Anisha likes him a lot. She also tries to kiss Charlie, but Charlie did not have to do all this, so she comes out of the cabin. Now due to this, Anisha gets very angry and she curses Charlie in anger that any girl he loves will get married to someone else. And then she leaves from there with some hair of Charlie. After that, we see the scene many years ahead where Charlie and Stuart are now grown up. While Charlie has now become a dentist and Stuart is the surgeon of plastic surgery in their clinics. In the building, they both come to a friend's wedding, where the bride says thanks to Charlie in front of everyone and says that she is getting married today because of him. Charlie is stunned, because he didn't even do anything. At the same table on which Charlie was sitting, two girls start talking to each other as soon as they hear Charlie's name. After a while, Charlie meets a girl named Cam, and they both talk a lot. During this, Charlie also gives the card of his dentist to the Cam. When Charlie comes to the clinic the next day, he is surprised to see that there are many beautiful girls sitting there, because earlier, old people used to come to the clinic to get their teeth treated. Further, when talking to Charlie, Stuart was then that he meets Carol, who was married. She also tells Charlie that she is his lucky charm, and only after meeting her, her marriage was fixed. It all seems strange to Charlie, but he also ignores it and goes to his house. At home he sees that many girls have sent voicemail for him and all those girls wanted to meet Charlie for some reason or the other. But the surprising thing was that many of them Charlie didn't even know all the girls, and he also finds this very strange. In the next scene, we see Cam and his brother John. They both work in the aquarium where Cam falls into the water while feeding a penguin, due to which one of his teeth is broken. On the other side we see Charlie, who is out with a girl, was in the car, but that girl tries to come close to Charlie itself. On asking about it, the girl tells that I have come to know that the girl with whom you slept, that girl should get married soon. Now after hearing this, we can understand that why the bride and Carol called Charlie the lucky charm in the wedding. All the girls who had come to meet Charlie in the clinic, all of them had also come there in the same affair. After listening to that girl, Charlie says that she does not believe in all these things. During this time Charlie gets a call of Cam and she tells him about the condition of her teeth. Then when Charlie hears about the condition of Cam, then he immediately asks her to come to his clinic. After that, we watch the scene of the clinic, when Charlie checks the teeth of the Cam and says that there is nothing to fear and your teeth have not been much damaged. Then by mistake Charlie gets hurt by the hands of the Cam, for which the Cam later says sorry. When Cam was paying Charlie for treatment, then Charlie refuses to take that money. And here we also come to know that Charlie is now liking Cam after that Cam leaves from there. And when Charlie was going to close the clinic, when the Cam comes back, the Cam says that his car is not starting, so she asks Charlie for help. Next, when Charlie was fixing the Cam's car, then due to the fault of the Cam, Charlie gets a tremendous current from the car's battery, but it does not harm Charlie. After the car gets fixed, but by mistake was locked, and the car key inside the car, that's why Charlie takes the Cam to his house, so that he can get another car key. But when he gets home he remembers the Cam, that he had also kept the key of the house inside the car. Now due to no option, he somehow breaks the window glass and brings the car key from inside. After that he again comes to the clinic and leaves with the Cam car. Goes on. As soon as Charlie comes to his house, he sees that his receptionist Reba is waiting for him. In fact, Reba came to know about Charlie's lucky charm. She also wants to sleep with Charlie because no boy is married to her is doing, and she has to get married soon. When Charlie hears about this problem of Reba, then she also agrees to Reba. Further, Charlie tells all this to Stuart. After listening, Stuart says that you should take advantage of this gift. But Charlie still could not believe it, so he refuses to do so. On this, Stuart says that you can match girls with their life partner, and this is a very noble work. This idea of Stuart to Charlie feels very nice. After which, from next day he sleeps with many girls who come to the clinic, and many of those girls get their life partner too. Now all were very happy, but Charlie was not feeling well. Only then, after seeing the penguin on TV, he thinks of the Cam. After that he goes to the aquarium of the Cam, asks to go on a date with him, on which the Cam at first refuses but later agrees. Further, we see both of them on a date where both of them come close to each other while talking, and after having a lot of fun, just when they were about to have intimate at the Cam's house, Charlie gets a call from Stuart. He tells Charlie that the lucky charm thing is true because all the girls that Charlie has slept with so far are married. And if he does the same with Cam today, will he also get married with another boy? Now Charlie also believes in this, so he immediately leaves from there and comes to Stuart. Both of them still had doubts whether Charlie's lucky charm is true or not, so he decides to try it one last time. Then Charlie sleeps with a very overweight lady and then decides to stay for a while to see if she gets married. Whether or not he further tells the Cam on the video call that his health is not well. And for a few days from now they will talk on the video call only. Many days pass by doing the same, and then one day to Charlie, Stuart sends him to meet that girl. Actually his plan was that if Stuart proposed to that girl and did not marry her, then his marriage would break. Stuart also thinks it is right, and then he goes to meet that girl. Night Charlie meets Cam and then the two have a relationship for the first time. But wake up the next day Charlie sees on TV that that girl is married. Then he is shocked to see this and he immediately calls Stuart about it, asks. But Stuart tells him that he didn't talk to that girl. Charlie gets very angry to hear that because now he started liking the Cam. And he was afraid that Cam will also get married to someone else. Only then he sees by looking at the calendar that Wednesday at 8 p.m. Cam is going to meet a boy named George. Then this seeing Charlie thinks that Cam will definitely meet George and marry with him. Knowing about it, he starts acting very strange. In fact, he was thinking that he will be with Cam all the time. Then Cam not with any other boy, but Cam finds this behavior of Charlie very strange. So she asks Charlie to stay away from him for a few days, which makes Charlie very sad. After hearing this a few days later, Charlie comes to the aquarium to meet Cam, where she watches Cam with a guy. Charlie thinks that the boy is George and is flirting with Cam, so Charlie starts fighting with him. Seeing this, Cam gets very angry and she understands that Charlie is all about her lucky charm thing. That's why Cam breaks up with him, because Charlie doesn't trust him at all. Further, when Charlie was sitting outside his clinic, only then while talking to Reba, a glass bottle falls down from the hands of a man nearby. After this, Charlie remembers that once in childhood Anisha had cursed him, and he thinks that all this is happening because of the same curse. So she immediately leaves to go to Anisha's house with Stuart. On reaching, she does not recognize Charlie at first, but when she talks about her childhood, she remembers everything. Then Charlie asks her to remove the curse on her, on which Anisha says that there is no such thing as a curse and I told you all that in anger like this. At the same time, she also says that if the Cam wants to stay away from you, then you should go to it. Charlie understands this, so he comes home and calls Howard, who is the biggest researcher of Penguin. That was the dream of the Cam, that he met Howard one day, so Charlie did so. Now in the next scene, we see Cam and Howard spending time together and Charlie was happy to see them. After that one day, Stuart tells Charlie that upon hearing that Cam is leaving the city and going to Antarctica with Howard forever, Charlie has to immediately go to the airport to buy a plane ticket and go to the same plane that had the Cam, where she proposes by ringing the Cam in front of all the passengers of the plane. And the Cam also accepts his proposal. In partner, he also learns that we are going to Antarctica not forever, but only for a few days so that he can research Penguin, and also Howard's already married. Now on the other hand, we see Anisha, who takes out a doll from a black box which had a picture of Charlie's childhood. Maybe whatever was really happening to Charlie, it was happening because of Anisha's curse, and the movie ends here. I hope you enjoyed the video, so click any video of 3 of them and enjoy next. Please don't forget to subscribe our channel, and please like the video and tell us in the comment how you liked the video. I see you soon.